What if the deepest truths of human connection lie not in spoken words, but in the silent language of glances, gestures, and fleeting moments? Welcome to Stoic Reflections, where ancient wisdom meets modern inquiry to illuminate the complexities of life. Today we explore a timeless question that resonates through the ages. How can you discern if a woman is genuinely drawn to you? The answer, as Marcus Aurelius might suggest, lies not in chasing fleeting certainties, but in observing with clarity, patience, and an unwavering presence. Through the philosophical lens of Stoicism, we will delve into the subtle, often unconscious signals: eye contact, body language, laughter, touch, and more that reveal her emotions more powerfully than any declaration ever could. This journey is not merely about decoding attraction. It is about understanding human nature through a Stoic's disciplined clarity, an approach that balances emotional insight with rational reflection. Whether you seek to deepen your understanding of relationships or simply wish to grasp the intricacies of social dynamics, these reflections weave together the threads of ancient philosophy and contemporary life. We invite you to stay until the end, for these insights might transform the way you perceive the connections around you. If this resonates with your spirit, consider subscribing to Stoic Reflections and ringing the bell to join our community as we bridge the intellect of the past with the heartbeat of the present. Have thoughts to share? Drop a 1 in the comments if you find this exploration inspiring, or a 2 if there's room for us to grow. Your feedback fuels our mission to craft content that truly matters. Let us begin this philosophical voyage together. The Stoics taught us that truth often reveals itself not in loud proclamations, but in quiet consistency, in the small, deliberate actions that betray the heart's intent. To discern whether a woman is truly attracted to you, we must look beyond the surface, into the realm of subtle behaviors, those involuntary whispers of the soul that speak louder than conscious intent. Here, we explore these signals with the depth of a philosopher, the precision of a psychologist, and the curiosity of a seeker of wisdom, grounding our reflections in the Stoic virtues of discernment, mindfulness, and emotional resilience. Imagine for a moment a crowded room where conversations hum like a distant swarm. Amidst the noise, her gaze finds you not once, but repeatedly, lingering just a heartbeat longer than courtesy demands. This is no mere glance, it is a silent confession, an unspoken acknowledgement of your presence. In Stoic philosophy, we are taught to value what is real over what is assumed, and the eyes, as Seneca might note, are the most honest heralds of emotion. When a woman is drawn to you, her eyes do not just meet yours, they lock, hold, and invite. This is not a fleeting look exchanged with a stranger, it is a deliberate pause, a bridge built in silence. That prolonged gaze carries weight, as if her eyes are saying, "I see you, truly." It transcends the superficial, it is a thread of trust, a signal of safety, a quiet declaration that her attention has chosen you. Consider the weight of this moment. Her focus finds you amidst distraction, undeterred by the chaos around her. This is not random chance, it is instinctual intent. The Stoics would urge us to observe this without haste, for in that stillness lies clarity. She may not even realize the depth of her stare, but its persistence betrays her. When her eyes linger, they weave a narrative of curiosity and comfort, pulling you into a deeper exchange. Science echoes philosophy here. Eye contact is a primal instinct, wired into our very being to signal trust and attraction. When she holds your gaze, she is not just looking, she is searching, offering a glimpse into her unguarded self. Respond not with doubt, but with quiet confidence. Meet her eyes, not to challenge, but to affirm. In that shared moment, words fade, and understanding blooms. An exchange Epictetus might call a meeting of minds, and burdened by pretense. Yet Stoicism tempers our interpretation with wisdom. A single look is not proof, it is a clue. We must seek its frequency, its context. Does this gaze recur in moments of silence, in bursts of laughter, or in the stillness between words? If so, it is a sign she is investing in you, emotionally and instinctively. The eyes do not lie, but they demand discernment. Let them guide you, not blind you. To rush to conclusions would be to abandon the Stoic virtue of patience. To ignore their persistence would be to dismiss a truth worth seeing. Imagine her sitting across from you, her eyes catching glimpses of you as you speak, each glance a brushstroke on the canvas of connection. Over time, these moments accumulate, painting a picture of intent that words alone could never capture. Now, let us extend our gaze beyond her eyes to the language her body speaks, a language she may not fully control. Picture her leaning toward you as you share a thought, her shoulders relaxed, her posture open. This is not coincidence, it is revelation. In Stoic terms, we seek what aligns with nature, and the body, and bound by conscious deceit, mirrors the heart's truth. When a woman is attracted, her physicality shifts, she closes the gap, not just in space, but in spirit. Notice the subtleties, her arms uncrossed, her torso facing you directly, her movements mirroring yours. If you lean forward, does she follow? If you shift your weight, does she adjust hers? This mirroring, a dance of alignment, signals harmony and unconscious desire to sync with you. It is not mimicry for flattery's sake. It is a primal pull toward unity, a desire to resonate on a level deeper than words can reach. She might edge her chair closer during a conversation, stand nearer than custom requires, or tilt her head as you speak, each gesture a quiet plea to erase distance. This openness is deliberate in its instinct. A crossed arm or turned back builds walls, her lack of barriers dismantles them. She is not just comfortable, she is welcoming. When she brushes past obstacles to be near you, it is a sign of intent, subtle yet profound. The Stoics would counsel us to see this as it is, a natural expression of connection, not a promise to overanalyze. Imagine her sitting beside you at a gathering, her body angled toward you, even as others speak, her presence a silent allegiance to your orbit. Respond in kind, but with restraint. Lean in slightly, mirror her openness, not to force, but to flow. The body's dialogue thrives on reciprocity, not aggression. If she steps into your space, she is testing waters, offer calm waters in return. This dialogue of proximity is not about possession, it is about presence. Her movements whisper what words might conceal, and in that whisper lies a truth worth hearing. Picture her adjusting her position to face you fully, her knees pointing toward you, her hands resting lightly rather than clenched. These are signs of ease, of invitation. Each time she closes the physical gap, she is also narrowing the emotional one, inviting you to meet her halfway. The Stoic mind observes this without leaping to hasty conclusions, noting the pattern over time. Does she consistently orient herself toward you in group settings? Does her body language remain open even when the conversation turns mundane? If so, her attraction is not a fleeting whim, it is a steady current, pulling her closer with each interaction. Now, listen closely. Her laughter rings out, not forced, not polite, but genuine, spilling forth when you speak. To the Stoic, humor is a bridge, and her ease in crossing it reveals much. When a woman laughs freely with you, even at your simplest jests, it is more than amusement, it is affinity. She is not just entertained, she is at home in your company, her guard lowered by your presence. Picture this. You share a modest quip, and her smile ignites, her laughter unguarded. It is not the joke's brilliance, it is you. That sound, spontaneous and warm, is her soul saying, "I'm here with you." It is a signal of trust, a testament to the safety she feels. Marcus Aurelius might remind us that joy shared is joy doubled, and her laughter doubles the moment's worth. This laughter is not superficial. It cuts through facades like a blade through silk. If she laughs often, easily, brightly, it is a rhythm of connection, a melody she plays only when she is drawn in. She might not say, "I feel close to you," but her chuckle does. It is an invitation, subtle yet bold, to deepen the bond. Do not chase it with forced wit, let it unfold naturally. Her comfort is the prize, not your punchline. Imagine her sitting across a table, her eyes crinkling with mirth at a story you tell, one that others might have met with a polite nod. Her laughter lingers, echoing in the space between you, a thread weaving you closer. Over time, this pattern emerges. She finds joy in your presence, not just in your words, and that joy becomes a beacon of her attraction. Stoicism bids us pause here with careful reflection. One laugh is not enough. Seek the pattern. Does it flow consistently, tied to your presence? Does it emerge in quiet moments as well as lively ones? If so, cherish it. It is her way of weaving you into her world, a thread of delight in an often stoic tapestry. Answer with your own ease, not effort, and watch the bridge strengthen. Picture those moments when her laughter spills over, not just at your humor but at the simple act of being near you. Her ease a mirror of her heart's inclination. The Stoic does not cling to this as proof but notes it as evidence, building understanding with each recurrence. Then there is touch, light, fleeting, yet electric. Her hand grazes your arm as she laughs, or she rests it briefly on your shoulder as she makes a point. This is not accident, it is instinct. In Stoic thought, we value what is essential, and touch is among the most primal signals of closeness. When a woman seeks it, even subtly, she is reaching beyond words, testing the air between you. These moments are small but seismic, a tap when she emphasizes a point, a lean when she is near. Each contact is a question: is this safe? Is this welcome? And a statement: I want to be closer. She might not plan it. Her hand acts before her mind catches up. That spontaneity is its power. A woman does not touch what she does not trust, nor linger near what she does not crave. Observe its rhythm with a philosopher's patience. Does it recur once in jest, again in quiet? If she finds reasons, a playful nudge, a steadying hand, it is a pattern of yearning. The Stoics would see this as nature's pull, unmarred by artifice. It is not loud, not possessive, but persistent, like a river carving stone. Answer with gentleness, a touch returned, not grasped. Let it breathe, not bind. Imagine her brushing your sleeve as she passes, a fleeting connection that lingers in memory. Over time, these touches multiply: a hand on your arm during a story, a light tap to emphasize her laughter. Each instance is a brick in the foundation of intimacy she is building, whether she knows it or not. This is not trivial. Touch breaks barriers words cannot, forging a visceral link. Her comfort in it speaks volumes. She is not just near, she is with you. Do not overestimate a single brush, but do not dismiss its cadence. It is her heart's quiet envoy, and yours must listen. Picture those moments when her fingers linger a second longer than necessary, her touch a silent Morse code of intent. The Stoic mind does not rush to interpret but gathers these moments like evidence, weighing their meaning with calm precision. Does she touch others this way, or is it reserved for you? If the latter, her attraction is not imagined, and it is tangible, etched in the language of contact. Now, her voice joins the chorus with a different kind of signal. She asks not how's your day, but what structures you. Her questions dig deeper, probing your dreams, your fears, your essence. This is no idle chatter, it is pursuit. In Stoic terms, curiosity reflects value. She seeks your core because she deems it worthy. When a woman is attracted, she does not settle for shallow waters, she dives into the depths of your being. Imagine her asking about your passions, recalling a story you shared weeks ago with startling clarity. She remembers details: the book you love, the goal you chase, and builds on them. This is not politeness, it is investment. She wants your truth, not your mask. Her inquiries personal, thoughtful, persistent, signal a hunger to know you beyond the obvious. This depth matters immensely. Nietzsche might call it a will to understand, but the Stoics would frame it as a search for alignment. She is not just listening, she is mapping you, seeking resonance. Each question is a thread, stitching her to your narrative. Do not deflect, answer with candor. She is not prying, she is connecting. Picture her leaning in as you describe a dream. Her eyes alight with genuine interest, her follow-up questions peeling back layers you did not even know you wore. Over time, these conversations deepen, her curiosity a steady flame illuminating the contours of your soul. She is not content with surface, she craves the bedrock beneath. Yet, discernment reigns as the Stoics' guide. One question is not a vow, seek consistency. Does she return to these depths, weaving past answers into new queries? If so, she is not merely curious, she is committed. Her mind engages where her heart leans, and that is a signal no Stoic would ignore. Imagine her recalling a passing comment you made about a childhood memory, bringing it up in a later conversation with a warmth that shows she has held it close. These are not accidents of memory, they are deliberate acts of attention, signs that her interest is not fleeting but rooted. Sometimes, attraction cloaks itself in unease, revealing itself through subtle cracks in composure. She fidgets, twirling a ring, smoothing her hair, her confessade cracking under your gaze. This is not weakness, it is humanity. The Stoics prized equanimity, but they knew emotion stirs the soul. When a woman grows restless near you, it is her heart wrestling with itself, wanting to impress, fearing to falter. Picture her blushing as you speak, her words stumbling slightly, her hands moving nervously to adjust her necklace. These are not flaws, they are signs. She cares how you see her, and that care betrays her pull. Her hands move, her breath quickens, not from discomfort, but from desire's quiet storm. It is raw, unfiltered, real. Do not judge this, ease it with Stoic compassion. A smile, a gentle word, can steady her. The Stoics would counsel empathy here. Her nervousness is a gift, a glimpse of vulnerability. It is not chaos to fix, but a moment to honor. If it persists, red cheeks in your presence, not others, it is yours to read. She is drawn, and her body confesses it. Imagine her laughing a little too quickly, her voice catching as she tries to respond, her eyes darting away only to return. These are the brushstrokes of attraction, painted in hues of unease. Over time, you notice the pattern. Her calm holds steady with others, but near you it wavers, a testament to the weight of her feelings. Finally, she is there again and again, her presence a constant in your orbit. She lingers after others leave, finds excuses to cross your path. This is not chance, it is choice. In Stoic philosophy, time is our truest currency, and her spending it on you is no small offering. When a woman seeks your orbit, she is not just near, she is invested. Think of her staying late after a gathering, suggesting a coffee just as you are about to leave, appearing where you are with a frequency that defies coincidence. These are not accidents, they are efforts. She crafts opportunities, subtle yet deliberate, to be with you. It is not loud devotion, it is quiet dedication. Her presence says you matter, more than words ever could. This is profound and deserves careful consideration. The Stoics valued action over promise, and her proximity is action incarnate. Does she adjust her plans, align her steps with yours? If so, she is building something, a bond, a rhythm. Reciprocate with openness, not insistence. She is giving time, give attention. It is a dance of intent, and she is leading with her feet. Imagine her finding reasons to linger, a question after a group disperses, a suggestion to walk the same way. Over time these moments accumulate, each one a stone in the path she is paving toward you. The Stoic does not rush this dance but steps in time, noting its tempo with a steady heart. Let us distill these threads into clarity, viewed through Stoicism's steady gaze. First, there is increased attention. She notices you, asks more, remembers much. Her questions linger on your thoughts, your past, your dreams. each one a probe into your essence. Second, there is physical closeness. She narrows the space, her body drawn to yours like a moth to flame. Her posture opens, her movements align, her presence seeks yours. Third, there is mirroring. Her actions echo yours, seeking harmony in the smallest gestures. If you laugh, she does too. If you lean, she follows. Fourth, there is frequent communications. He reaches out, keeps you near in thought. Her messages a lifeline across distance. She might text you a simple thought, call to share a moment, her voice a tether to her heart. Fifth, there are sincere compliments. She praises your essence, not just your shell. She speaks not of your looks but of your kindness, your wit, your strength. Her words a mirror to your worth. Sixth, there is nervousness. Her calm wavers, revealing care in the blush of her cheeks, the fidget of her hands. Seventh, there are shared interests. She explores your world, joining your passions with a curiosity that mirrors your own. She might listen to your favorite song, visit your favorite place. Her efforts a bridge to your world. Eighth, there is open body language. She faces you, unguarded and present, her arms uncrossed, her smile unforced. Ninth, there are future plans. She weaves you into tomorrow's tapestry, suggesting outings, dreaming aloud of moments yet to come. 10th, there is support. She stands by you, a pillar in your storm, her encouragement a shield against doubt. These are not loud cries, they are whispers of the soul. The Stoic does not rush to judge them but observes their pattern. Alone, they are hints; together, they are a chorus. Reflect on their rhythm, not their volume, and you will see her truth. Imagine these signs unfolding over weeks, months, a tapestry woven thread by thread. The Stoic mind does not grasp at them greedily but examines them with care, seeking the whole over the part. Does her attention persist across contexts? Does her laughter ring true in quiet moments as well as loud ones? Does her touch, though light, recur with intention? If so, her attraction is not a fleeting spark, it is a steady flame burning beneath the surface. How do we meet these signs with wisdom, with the Stoic principles of clarity and virtue? First, observe without judgment. Note her actions, but do not leap to conclusions. Seek consistency over impulse, patterns over moments. A single glance is a note, a recurring gaze is a melody. Second, respect boundaries. Attraction is not ownership. Honor her space, her pace, her autonomy. To push beyond her comfort would be to violate the Stoic ethic of justice. Third, respond with virtue. Act with kindness and dignity, whether you reciprocate or not. If her signs stir nothing in you, acknowledge them with respect. If they spark a mutual flame, fan it with honesty. These principles keep us grounded, true to ourselves, and open to what is real. Consider the Stoic approach in practice. You notice her lingering gaze, her laughter, her touch. Rather than assuming her intent, you watch days pass and the patterns hold. She seeks you out, her body language open, her questions deep. You respect her pace, neither retreating nor advancing too swiftly. When you respond, it is with sincerity, a return smile, a thoughtful answer, a moment of shared silence. This is not a game of conquest but a dance of mutual understanding, guided by the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with nature. Her signals are invitations, not contracts. Your responses are offerings, not demands. Let us expand this reflection further, for the Stoic mind seeks depth over haste. Imagine a scenario where these signs converges. He sits near you at a gathering, her body angled toward you, her laughter spilling forth at your words. Later she asks about a dream you once mentioned, her curiosity genuine, her eyes locked on yours. As the night ends, she lingers, finding a reason to walk the same way, her hand brushing yours as you part. Each moment is a thread, and together they weave a tapestry of intent. The Stoic does not seize this tapestry but studies it, noting its colors, its weight, its weave. Does it hold across time? Does it fray under scrutiny? Only through observation can we know. This process of discernment is slow, deliberate, as the Stoics would have it. Attraction is not a storm to be weathered but a river to be navigated, its currents subtle, its depths are vast. Picture her over weeks, her glances persist, her laughter echoes, her presence endures. Each encounter adds a layer, a nuance, a shade to the portrait of her feelings. The Stoic mind does not rush to paint this portrait, but lets it emerge, stroke by stroke, until the image is clear. And even then, it does not cling, it appreciates, it understands, it moves forward with purpose. Let us delve deeper into the Stoic perspective on these signals, for philosophy offers not just observation but interpretation. The lingering gaze, in Stoic terms, aligns with the idea of presence, what Epictetus called being fully in the moment. When she looks at you, she is not distracted by externals, she is here, with you, her attention a gift. The open body language reflects the Stoic value of authenticity. What is natural cannot be feigned. Her laughter, her touch, her questions all are expressions of what Marcus Aurelius might call the inner citadel, the core of her being reaching out to yours. Even her nervousness, her fidgeting, aligns with Stoic acceptance of human imperfection. It is not a flaw but a truth, a sign of her humanity. The Stoic does not see these signals as ends, but as means to understanding, to connection, to a life lived with intention. Imagine applying this in daily life. You notice her patterns, you respond with virtue, you cultivate a bond grounded in mutual respect. Over time this bond grows not through force, but through the quiet power of consistency. Her attraction becomes not a mystery to solve but a reality to share, a dance where both partners move in harmony. The Stoic ideal is not conquest but collaboration, not possession but partnership. Let us extend this further, for the Stoic mind thrives on thoroughness. Consider the broader implications of these signs. What do they reveal about human nature? The lingering gaze speaks to our need for connection, a primal urge to see and be seen. The open body language reflects our instinct for trust, a desire to lower walls in the presence of safety. The laughter, the touch, the questions all point to a deeper truth. We are beings of emotion as much as reason, and attraction is the dance where these forces meet. The Stoic does not shy from this dance but joins it with clarity, ensuring that emotion serves reason, not overrides it. Imagine teaching this perspective to another, a friend, a seeker of wisdom. You might say, watch for the patterns, not the moments. See her gaze, her laughter, her presence, as threads in a larger weave. Respond not with haste but with honesty, not with greed but with gratitude. This is the Stoic way to engage fully, yet remain free, to connect deeply, yet retain self-mastery. Over time this approach builds not just attraction but understanding, not just moments but meaning. The woman's signals become not a puzzle but a path, one you walk with a philosopher's steady stride. And so, we circle back to the beginning, the gaze, the gesture, the laughter, the touch. Each is a note in the symphony of attraction, played not with words but with instinct. The Stoic hears this symphony not as a call to action, but as a call to awareness, to see clearly, to act justly, to live truly. Whether her attraction blooms into more or fades into memory, the Stoic remains unchanged, present, purposeful, at peace. For in the end, it is not her feelings that define us, but our response to them, our alignment with the virtues that anchor our soul. These reflections, drawn from the well of Stoic wisdom, offer not just insight but practice, a way to navigate the currents of human connection with grace and grounding. They remind us that attraction is not a destination but a journey, one best traveled with a clear mind and an open heart. The signs are there, if we choose to see them. The path is ours, if we choose to walk it. Through this lens, we find not just her intent but our own, a mirror to our values, a map to our virtues, a guide to living well. Attraction, in its truest form, is a silent symphony played not in words, but in glances, gestures, and time freely given. Through Stoic eyes, we have uncovered its notes, the lingering look, the open stance, the laughter that binds. These are not mere signs, they are invitations to connect, rooted in trust and presence. Marcus Aurelius might remind us that what matters is not the feeling's intensity, but the clarity with which we meet it. This is the Stoic way to see, to understand, and to act with purpose. What do you think? Have these signals stirred your reflections? Share your stories below. Your voice enriches this dialogue. If this resonated, hit that like button, subscribe to Stoic Reflections, and join our journey through wisdom's depths. Next, stay tuned for a discussion with Emma and James, two voices who will unpack these insights further, live and unfiltered. Your thoughts shape what is next. Tell us what you would love to explore. Until then, stay present, stay stoic.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving into something really fascinating. It's the subtle signs of attraction, but we're going to be looking at it through a really unique lens, Stoic philosophy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we've got this article, it's from Stoic Reflections, called The Subtle Dance of Attraction, Decoding a Woman's Unspoken Signals.
Okay.
And, the goal here isn't to, manipulate anyone or learn tricks or anything like that.
Right.
But to understand these quiet cues that we see in everyday life through the ideas of observation and reflection that are so important to Stoicism.
Yeah, you know what I find really interesting about the Stoic perspective on this is that it really emphasizes virtue when you're trying to understand these signs. It's not just about recognizing patterns of behavior, but approaching the whole situation with integrity and respect.
So less about decoding some kind of secret language and more about just being present and really insightful.
Exactly. The Stoics were all about focusing on what you can control, and that includes your own actions and your own responses to things.
Makes sense.
It's about seeing clearly and then understanding deeply and then acting with wisdom.
I like it. So where do we begin?
Well, the article starts off with a sign that might seem pretty obvious, but I think a lot of people overlook it. It's increased attention.
Okay.
Now think beyond just like a casual glance. This is sustained eye contact. This is a focused presence that goes beyond just like politeness.
So it's like she's not just making eye contact, she's really seeing you.
Yes, and the Stoics really valued presence. It speaks volumes when someone chooses to really be present with you among all the distractions of the world, It says a lot about their character and their intentions.
That's true. But wouldn't you say that some people are just naturally more attentive than others? How do you know if it's like genuine interest or just her personality?
That's where the observation comes in. So the article points out that genuine attention, it goes beyond just eye contact. Does she remember details about you? Does she ask you thoughtful questions that go beyond small talk?
Oh, okay.
Is she really engaging with your thoughts and your feelings?
So it's like she's not just hearing you, she's actively listening and remembering.
Exactly. It's a genuine desire to understand you on a deeper level, which I think aligns really well with the Stoic principle of always seeking wisdom and knowledge.
And the article gives a great example of how she might inquire about your dreams and motivations, showing a real interest in your inner world.
Right, and that connects really well to another sign that the article explores, physical closeness.
Okay.
And it's not just about being physically near you, it's about closing that gap with intention.
So like leaning in when you're talking or angling her body towards you, even if you're in a group setting.
Yes. The article mentions those specific examples, and what's interesting from a Stoic perspective is the concept of aligning with nature. When a woman is drawn to someone, her body language naturally becomes more open and inviting. It's an instinctive expression of connection.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got the sustained attention, we've got closing the physical gap. What other subtle signals should we be looking for?
This one might surprise you. Nervousness.
Nervousness.
Now you might think, well, isn't nervousness a sign of insecurity? But think about it through a Stoic lens.
Okay, how would the Stoics interpret nervousness in the context of attraction?
They'd say it's a natural human response when we care deeply about something or someone.
Okay.
It's not weakness, it's a sign of investment. We become more self-conscious because we genuinely care about how we're perceived.
That's such an interesting way to look at it. It totally flips the script. So instead of seeing those little flubs and stumbles as awkward, they could actually be endearing.
Exactly. And the article even points out some specific examples like blushing or fidgeting or stumbling over your words. They kind of become these charming signs of genuine interest.
So to recap, we've got focused attention, physical closeness, and even nervousness. And we're viewing these through this Stoic lens of presence aligning with nature and caring deeply. What other fascinating insights does this article offer?
Welcome back. We're delving deeper into the subtle signs of attraction through that Stoic lens.
Yeah. I'm ready for more. I feel like I'm already starting to see everyday interactions in like a whole new light.
That's what's so great about the Stoic approach. It really encourages this mindful awareness of ourselves and others.
Yeah. So we talked about those initial signs like the attention and the physical closeness, even that nervousness.
Yeah.
But what happens as a connection kind of starts to develop? What deeper signs might start to emerge?
Well, the article brings up this concept that's really interesting from a Stoic perspective: sincere compliments.
Okay.
And, in a world where flattery and superficial praise are so common, I think a genuine compliment, it really stands out.
Yeah, I could definitely see how that ties into Stoicism. It's about being truthful and speaking from the heart, right?
Exactly. The Stoics really valued authenticity and integrity. So when a woman offers you a compliment that's more than just surface level flattery, it says a lot. It shows that she's paying attention to your character, your values, your inner qualities.
Yeah. So less about you have nice eyes and more about I admire your kindness or like you have such a sharp wit.
Exactly. It's about recognizing and appreciating the qualities that make you you.
It's funny you should say that because the article specifically highlights compliments that focus on kindness, wit, and strength.
Right.
It's like she's acknowledging the essence of who you are.
And that aligns perfectly with the Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature, recognizing and appreciating that inherent goodness that we all have within us.
Powerful stuff. So we've got these compliments that are showing this deeper level of observation. What else does the article suggest we pay attention to?
This is one that I think a lot of people can relate to: mirroring.
Mirroring.
Yeah, you might not even realize it consciously, but when we're attracted to someone, we often imitate their gestures and behaviors.
Oh, yeah, I've totally noticed that before. It's like you're subtly syncing up. She laughs when you laugh, leans in when you lean in. It's this unspoken harmony almost.
Exactly. And what's really cool from that Stoic perspective is that this mirroring, it's not about manipulation or anything like that. It's a natural expression of connection and rapport.
So it's not about trying to make her mirror you. It's about noticing it as a sign that she's already feeling that connection.
Right. It's like an involuntary reflection of a deeper attraction.
That's interesting.
So moving on to a sign that can really reveal a lot about a woman's intentions: how she incorporates you into her future plans.
Okay, this one seems pretty straightforward. Like if she's talking about things you could do together in the future, that's a good sign.
Yeah. It's a really strong indicator of interest. And what's particularly relevant from a Stoic perspective is this idea that actions speak lighter than words. It's one thing to say, oh, I like spending time with you.
Yeah.
But it's another to actually include you in your vision of the future.
So it's not just about spontaneous hangouts. It's about consciously including you in her plans and seeing you as someone she wants to share those experiences with.
Exactly, whether it's suggesting a coffee date next week or mentioning a concert that she thinks you might enjoy.
Yeah.
Those little hints, they show that you're on her mind and that she's thinking about ways to continue building that connection with you.
It's like she's not just enjoying the present moment, but she's envisioning a future that includes you.
Right. And, it's interesting to think about this from a Stoic perspective because they really emphasized living in the present moment.
Right.
But also making choices that align with your long-term goals and values.
So it's not about getting ahead of ourselves or rushing things, but seeing those little hints as a sign that she's thinking about you beyond just the immediate moment.
Exactly. And I think that's a really beautiful way to approach any potential connection. With mindfulness, with intention, and with just genuine curiosity about where things might lead.
That's awesome. I love that. We've covered so much ground already, but I know there's more to explore. What other subtle signs does the article reveal? Okay, we are back for the final part of our deep dive into attraction, all through the lens of Stoicism. This has been such an insightful conversation.
I know. It's so cool to see something like attraction, which we usually think of as just instinctual through this philosophical perspective.
Right, exactly. So we've decoded all these subtle signs like the focused attention, physical closeness, the sincere compliments, even the mirroring. But how do we actually put this wisdom into practice? It's one thing to recognize the signs, but how do we actually navigate all those complex emotions and situations?
Well, that's where the core Stoic principles really come into play. The article highlights clarity, respect, and virtue as like the essential guides.
Okay, let's break those down. Clarity first. What does that look like when we're talking about attraction?
So clarity, it's about observing those signs, the lingering gaze, the thoughtful questions, the genuine compliments, but not jumping to conclusions or letting your emotions kind of run wild.
So it's like being a detective, but instead of looking for clues at a crime scene, you're looking for those cues in human interactions.
Yeah, exactly. Gathering information, noticing patterns, but not getting ahead of yourself.
Right.
We observe, we reflect, we look for consistency over time. Does her behavior match up with her words? Are those signs recurring, or are they just fleeting moments?
Makes sense. So clarity is about observation and discernment. What about respect? How does that fit into all of this?
So respect, it's about honoring boundaries. Attraction doesn't equal ownership.
Right.
We have to remember that she's a separate person with her own thoughts and feelings and her own free will.
So even if you're, feeling a strong pull towards someone, you don't project your own desires or expectations onto them.
Exactly. We approach her with genuine curiosity and respect, and we give her the space to respond authentically. No pressure, no manipulation.
It's about honoring her freedom to choose how she wants to engage with you, even if that choice isn't exactly what you're hoping for.
Right. And that leads us to the third principle, virtue.
Okay, hit me with it. How does virtue guide our actions in this whole dance of attraction?
Virtue, it's about acting with integrity, honesty, and kindness. And this is regardless of the outcome.
Okay.
It's about making sure your actions are aligned with your values.
So even if you're super excited about a potential connection, you don't play games or try to force anything or manipulate the situation.
Exactly. You communicate honestly, you act with integrity. And, whether you choose to share your feelings or you decide to step back, you do it in a way that's true to yourself.
And if things don't go the way you hoped, you accept it with grace and understanding.
Right. We can't control how someone else feels, but we can control our own responses. We choose to act with virtue even when it's hard.
That's where that whole Stoic idea of focusing on what you can control really comes in.
Absolutely. You can't control if someone's attracted to you, but you can control how you approach relationships. With clarity, with respect, and with virtue.
It's not about forcing anything or trying to get a specific outcome. It's about approaching the whole experience with, presence awareness and just a commitment to acting in a way that aligns with your values.
And even if a particular connection doesn't turn into a romantic relationship, what you learn about yourself and about human nature is so valuable.
It's all about embracing the journey with all its ups and downs and, allowing yourself to learn and grow along the way.
I think that's a beautiful way to sum it up. That really captures the Stoic approach to attraction and relationships.
This has been such a cool deep dive. I feel like I've got this whole new toolkit for understanding and navigating attraction.
And remember those Stoic principles. Clarity, respect, and virtue, they're not just for romantic stuff. They can guide us in all our interactions.
So true. So whether you're noticing those signs of attraction or just figuring out how to connect with people, remember to approach it with an open heart, a clear mind. And, stay true to yourself. Act with integrity.
Love it. Great note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this exploration of attraction through the lens of Stoicism.
Until next time, stay curious, stay mindful, and keep those Stoic insights close at heart.